Okay, so we'll work on question R together, and then the question will be for you, okay, for you to try. So what you do is, first thing you notice, this one is negative, right? So make sure you turn it in the right directions, okay? So let's grab this angle to the side, right? And then we're gonna turn that into a mixed fraction. So 27 over 4, what's this in mixed fraction? Okay, Trudy, what's the mixed fraction for 27 over 4? Hmm? Trudy, I cannot hear you. Did you say something?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Next fraction?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, what you do is you take 27 divide by 4. How many 4 can go in?
Oh, 6.
Yeah, and what will be the remainder?
3
Yeah, so it will be,
over 4.
yeah, 3 over 4. That's how you change to mix, right? Okay, so after that, right, you adding the pi, right? Because question has pi, so it will be 6 and 3/4 pi. And it has a negative, right? So we put the negative at the front, negative at the front. So what this is telling you is you have to turn negative 6 pi and then 3 over 4 pi more, right? So continue turning in the negative direction. So let's try that. Okay, and then we can count the pi together. Okay, we are going negative 6 pi. So 1 pi, 2 pi, 3, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, right? So 6 pi will be there, negative 6 pi, and then 3/4 more. So remember, a pi is half a circle. So 3/4, that means you need to cut into 4 slices, cover 3 pieces, right? So think about the pizza here, right? You cut into 4 pieces, okay? So it covers 3/4. So that's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, right? So you see throughout the whole drawing, I don't need to change the degree. You just count the pizza, okay? And then there's your angle. Okay, think about this again, right? We turn it into mixed fraction and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 3/4 of a pizza, right? 3 slices of the quarters, okay? 3 slices. Okay, so once we get that, that's our picture. What is our reference angle now? Cindy, what is the reference angle here? Are you there, Cindy?
45.
In radian?
Oh, pi over 4.
Yeah, okay, so don't change the degree, okay? Throughout the whole question, don't think about degree. So we have pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, and then you have 1 slice left. 1 slice is pi over 4, okay? And then since it's pi over 4, it's an easy one, so we have 1 root 2, right? Isosceles. Now we want to do cosecant, right? Cosecant is which side over which side? Tiana?
Hypotenuse over opposite.
Okay, so hypotenuse will be, which number is hypotenuse, William?
2 root 2.
Over opposite, which one's opposite?
1.
Okay, and positive or negative?
This is negative.
Yes, okay, cosecant is negative in quadrant 3, right? So of course you don't need to write over 1, right? Leave your final answer as negative root 2. Okay, any questions here? Okay, so if no questions, I'll let you finish the rest of the question on this page. Okay, so please raise your hand once you finish them. And if you have questions, you can ask me anytime.
Finish all of them?
Yep, finish up to X.
Okay.
Oh, and also, for those of you who left early during the break, okay, Eric caught a mistake in the answer key. Okay, so question L, it should be positive 2/3. Okay, we forgot to check sign. For question L, sine 240 should be negative √3/2. Okay, so final answer should be positive 2/3. Okay, Tiana, which question are you working on now?
P.
Okay. How about William? Which one?
S.
Okay. Let's go over the first three. Okay, question M. So Cindy, which quadrant is question M?
M.
Yeah, M.
Quadrant 4.
Quadrant 4. Quadrant 4. Did you turn the right directions?
Uh,
This
um,
is angle, right?
and it would be quadrant 1.
Yeah. Okay. So be careful, right? I think you turn the positive direction. So negative 315. So what's the reference then?
45.
Yep, reference is still the same. So how long is the opposite side?
1.
Yeah, so 1/2. So your final ratio will be,
√2.
yeah, √2 hypotenuse over opposite, right? Positive, negative?
Positive.
Positive. Very good. Okay, which question are you on now?
S.
S, okay. Right, let's check answer for N. Okay, Donna, which quadrant is N?
2.
2. Okay, so reference angle is,
30.
opposite side is
1.
1. Okay, so 1, 2, √3. So secant will be,
Huh? Oh.
yeah,
Ne-
what's the ratio?
negative √3/2.
We are doing secant, right? Secant is which side over which side?
Hypotenuse over adjacent.
Yeah.
No, opposite.
Eh?
Wait, no, adjacent.
And secant is cosine, right? Flipping of cosine. Cosine secant. So what number over what number then?
-2√3.
Yeah, 2 over √3, and then it's a negative. Okay. Next one, let's check O. Okay, Eric, which quadrant is O?
Quadrant 1,
Yep, quadrant 1. What's the reference?
60,
60 degree. Okay, so opposite is
√3,
√3. Okay, and ratio for cotangent?
adjacent over opposite,
So what number?
1 over √3,
Positive, negative?
positive.
Very good. Okay. So we already have two people finished all of them. Does anyone have questions? Or are you stuck on any questions here? Okay, let's go over P and Q now. Okay, for question P, Trudy, can you tell me which quadrant is it in?
I think it's 1.
Question, quadrant 1, okay, very good. What's the reference angle?
Reference angle is it was 60.
In radian?
Radian.
Pi over what?
Pi over shoot. I didn't write it down.
Okay, it's okay, I'll wait for you. Right, pi means 180, right? So if I want to have 60, I need to cut into,
Into 3.
yeah, 3 pieces, right? Okay, so 180 divided by 3 is 60. Okay, so how long is opposite side?
Opposite side is root 3.
Yeah, so that would be 1, 2. Cotangent ratio will be,
Cotangent ratio is 1 over root 3.
positive, negative.
Positive.
Very good. Okay. Now question Q. Okay, Kelly, can you help me? Which quadrant is Q?
Quadrant 2,
Quadrant 2. Reference angle?
45 degrees.
Yeah, and so that would be 1 root 2. And secant ratio will be,
Square root 2 over 1,
yeah,
which is negative square root 2.
yeah, negative root 2. Very good. Okay, secant will be negative. Okay. Almost everybody's almost done, huh? Okay, cosine, question S. Okay, Ray, can you help me with cosine 5 pi over 3? Which quadrant?
4.
Quadrant 4, okay. And reference angle?
Pi over 3.
Yeah, so opposite side will be,
Root of 3.
yeah, so 1 and 2. Cosine will be,
1 over square root of 2.
eh?
And square root of 3.
Huh?
1 over 2.
Yeah, 1 over 2, okay? Adjacent over hypotenuse, okay? Yeah, positive, negative?
Positive.
Positive, okay. Does photomath do this?
No, but I found a better app.
Oh, but the other app?
It's called Mathway, and you just put the thing in and it tells you the stuff.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
That's how our brain will start to shrink, right? Okay, and then secant. Question T. Okay, William, which quadrant is T?
Mm, 4.
Quadrant 4, very good. And the reference angle?
45.
Radian?
1 3 over 4
Yeah.
pi.
Oh, that's if you change it to mix, right?
Yeah.
3 over 4 pi. My question is, what's the reference angle in radian?
3 over 4 pi? Wait, what?
No, you said reference angle was 45 degree, right?
Yeah.
And what's that in radian?
Oh, pi over 4.
Yes, okay. So if that's pi over 4, that means 1 root 2. So what's secant ratio then? William, still you.
Hi. Wait, what?
Huh? We're doing secant. Secant. 1 over what is secant?
Secant, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Um,
You're not chatting.
root 2
Yeah.
over 1, which is just negative root 2,
Negative. Why do you think it's negative?
because it's in quadrant 4.
Quadrant 4, what is positive there?
Oh, wait, it's not tangent. Never mind, it's positive.
Yeah, cosine and secant, right? So positive.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is root 2. Okay, I think we have just 2 more. Oh, 3 more. Okay, next one, question U. Tiana, have you finished U?
No.
Okay. Which one are you on?
T.
T. Okay, all right. I'll wait for you. When you finish U, can you tell me?
I'm done.
Okay, so which quadrant is question U?
3.
Quadrant 3, very good. Reference angle?
Pi over 6.
Yeah, and so opposite side will be,
1.
yeah, so 1 root 3, 2. Cosecant will be
2 over 1.
positive, negative?
Negative.
Yeah, okay, so equal negative 2. Okay, good. 2 more. So you finish all of them, please raise your hand. So I hope by now, right, you feel it's getting, you can finish faster and faster, right? Compare with the first question you did, right? Once you are more familiar with the steps, right, you can go faster. Sometimes maybe you don't even need to draw pictures, right? If you have the picture in the head. Okay, Trudy, do you have answer for W?
Yeah,
Okay, which quadrant is it?
quadrant 1.
Quadrant 1. Is it? No.
Wait, no, quadrant 4.
Quadrant which one?
Quadrant 4.
Quadrant 4, yeah. So this one goes negative, right? Negative 360 and then under 4. Okay, what's the reference?
The reference is 45 degrees.
Yeah. So 1 root 2. So sine will be,
Sorry.
yeah, what's the ratio for sine now?
Yeah, it's -1 over root 2.
Yep. Okay, very good. Okay, last one, question X. Okay, let's let Cindy, can you tell me which quadrant is question X?
I went the wrong way again.
Oh, you did? Okay, that's all right. Please, yeah, it's getting busy now. Okay, so let me know once you find out the new place.
Quadrant 2.
Quadrant 2, okay, very good. So it turns 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and a bit more, right? So the over there. What's the reference angle?
Pi over 3.
Yeah, so opposite side is,
Root 3.
yeah, so 1 and 2. Okay, so our tangent ratio will be,
Wait. Negative root 3.
over 1, right? Okay, so that's it. Okay, so I think by now you are very familiar with all the 4 steps. Okay, but sometimes there are angles that will stop on the axis. Okay, so when that happens, there's no triangle to draw. Okay, so that part is pretty easy. It doesn't take that much time. So I want to finish that today before you go. Okay, so before we move on to the next page, I would like to go back to page 40, right? So take a look, right? Remember, if question 9, look at question 9. If I give you a point, right? A pair of point, here we have negative 0.481, right? 0.877. The 2 points can tell you, the 2 values for x and y can tell you the sides, right? X is the adjacent. Y is the opposite, right? That's the rule. And then, which we had it up here too, right? Adjacent is the x-axis, opposite is the y-axis, the y-coordinate. And then the hypotenuse, you can find it using Pythagoras, right? So that's how we did how we find out the missing side. If we know 2 sides, we can find the missing side. So we are going to continue, right? Use this idea to find the sides if the angle they stop on the axis. Okay, so remember x is adjacent, y is the opposite. Okay, so let's turn to the next page here. Okay, so here we have 3 circles. Okay, so let's start with the sine. Okay, so I'm going to start with sine of 0 degree. 0 degree means it did not turn yet, right? So you don't see any triangle. So that means the point will be here, right? If it's 30 degree, will be here, right? If I move the point down, the angle gets smaller, right? So if the angle is 0 degree, you don't see any triangle, right? So all we can do is to use the coordinate there, right? So let's say if it's a unit circle, that means the radius is 1, right? This is 1, this is also 1. So the coordinate here will be 1, 0, right? X is 1, Y is 0. So this is our adjacent, right? X is adjacent, this is opposite. Okay, so you don't have opposite side because it did not open up. Adjacent side will be 1, okay, because it stays on the x-axis. Okay, and then the hypotenuse is always 1 because of the radius, right? Think about if I open the angle up and makes a triangle there, then hypotenuse will be 1, right? If I makes it bigger, right? Then the hypotenuse is still 1, right? So it's like the minute hand on the clock, right? It keeps on turning, but the radius is just like the hypotenuse side. Okay, so any questions so far? Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next point. And we'll talk about the ratio, okay? So let's say if the angle turns to 90 degrees now, that means the point will stop here. So the point here will be 0, 1. So once again, x is adjacent, opposite is the y, the 1. Okay, and then turns to the left side. So what will be the coordinate for the point on the left side now? Kelly?
I don't know.
The point is on the left, so x should be positive or negative.
Negative
Yeah, so negative what?
1,
Yeah, okay, because the radius is 1, right? How about the y value for that point?
0,
Yeah, okay, so the x is the adjacent side. Opposite is the 0, okay? And then now we'll move on to the bottom part. If the angle turns and stop on the bottom, okay, then what's the coordinate for that point? Tiana?
0, -1.
Yeah, 0, -1. Okay, so now we got the points for all the angles that stops on the axis. Okay, stopping on the axis means angle could be 0, could be 90, could be 180, right? 270, 360, right? Or in radian, 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, right? Those are the radian, or 2 pi, right? So we are going to use that to find our sine ratio. So for example, over here, the 0, okay? So sine, or I'll write it here, sine of 0. I'm going to use radian now, okay? So sine of 0, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, right? Opposite is 0 because y value is 0. Hypotenuse is always 1, so 0 over 1. So that will give you 0. Okay, so that's the answer for the right-hand side if the angle is 0. Okay, because you cannot see triangle for any of these places. Okay, now let's go to pi over 2 now. Remember, pi over 2 means 90 degrees. Okay, opposite over hypotenuse. How long is the opposite, Eric?
1,
Yeah, hypotenuse
1.
1. So 1 over 1 will be 1. Okay, so we have 1 over there. Okay, now we'll go to 180 degree, which means pi, right? Sine of pi. So let's write it here, sine of pi. Okay, same thing, it's sine, so it's still opposite over hypotenuse. How long is the opposite? Trudy?
The opposite
Yeah.
is 1.
Opposite is
Wait,
always the y value.
No, 0. 0.
Yeah. And hypotenuse?
1.
1. Okay, so 0 over 1 equals, what's 0 over 1?
0.
0, yeah. Okay, so sine pi is 0. Okay, and then now if the angle turns to the bottom, which is 270 degree, right? 270 degree is the same as sine 3 pi over 2. Right? You have pi over 2 3 times, right? This is pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, right? Turns to the bottom. Opposite, how long is the opposite side, William?
1.
Opposite should be the y value. What's the y value of that point?
Oh, 0.
Y value. 0 is the x. Y,
Oh, -1.
yeah, okay, we're at the bottom right now, okay, the 270 degree. So negative
Okay.
1 over hypotenuse. How long is hypotenuse? William, still you.
Wait, what?
How long is the hypotenuse?
The hypotenuse 2? 1?
Hypotenuse is always 1.
Okay.
We are in a unit circle here, okay? Unit
Oh.
circle, no matter where you draw the triangle, right? Hypotenuse is always 1, okay? And the
Okay.
x value and the y value, they are the adjacent and opposite. Okay, so over here, -1 over 1 is -1. Okay, so those 4 values are the ratios for angles that stop on the axis, okay, for sine only. Okay, so for example, if I say, what is sine of, okay, I'll ask on the top, okay, sine of -pi. What do you think the answer is? What is sine of -pi? Cindy, do you know?
No.
Okay. Donna, how about you?
Is it 0?
Is it 0? Okay, you think it's 0? Let's write on the top. How about Eric?
Is it undefined?
Undefined. Okay. Kelly,
0.
I think it's 0. Samantha,
0.
you think it's 0? Tiana,
0.
I think it's 0. Okay, so let's see how we can get the answer then. Okay, just the same way we did before. First, you have to draw the angle, right, to see where it stops. So -pi, it means you have to turn clockwise and then stop there, right? -180 degrees. So that means it's on the left side, right? The angle will stop on the left side. So you look at the picture, on the left side, the answer is 0, right? Whenever the angle stop on the left x-axis, it will be 0 for sine. Okay, that's how you use the chart. Okay, so the answer for this one will be 0. Right, so first you have to draw it and then see where it ends, right? So for example, let's look at a question at the bottom. Okay, let's pick a question that has a sign. So for example, question L. Okay, if you get an answer, please raise your hand. Okay, sine 270. Raise your hand if you know the answer. Okay, so if we draw the picture, where does it stop? Is it on the x-axis or the y-axis? Trudy?
It's on the y-axis.
Okay, is it the positive or the negative side?
It's negative.
Yeah, okay, so it turns to down here. So stop here. So the sign over there should equal to what, Cindy?
-1.
Okay, so the answer equals to -1. Okay, so that's it, right? Because for these questions, all the angle you cannot draw triangle. That's why we need a special rule. And the rule is to use X and Y to figure out the adjacent side and opposite side. Okay, so for your homework, I would like you to continue, right? Finish the picture, just the picture, don't do the question, okay? I would like you to figure out the ratios for cosine and tangent. Okay, so do the same thing. The points will be the same, okay? The point is still 1, 0 there, right? 0, 1, okay? -1, 0. This one is 0, -1. And hypotenuse is always 1, okay? And then, but then if it's cosine, you have to do adjacent over hypotenuse. For tangent, it will be opposite over adjacent, okay? So for homework, I would like you to complete the picture for these two circles. And then next we will go over them, okay, see if we get them right. And then we need to add in secant, cosecant, cotangent, okay? Using these 3 circles, we can figure out the other 3. You don't need to draw 6 circles. All right? So if you have questions about anything we learned today, you can stay after. Otherwise, I'll see you next week, okay? Have a great weekend.
Isn't it the same thing as like last year?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, the ratios are all the same, okay? The only thing we're adding is the secant and cotangent,
Oh,
okay?
okay.
Yeah, the rules are the same. Okay? See you everyone. If you have questions, please stay.
Bye, Jason.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Listen.
Yeah.